and we are live on the ICCCon 2022 podcast stage. I got the date right with Sean Crawford. I just almost
You
choked.
were looking for my name badge, weren't you?
No, it says Yak Face. You don't have a name.
Who have we got? What's your name?
It says Yak Face on your name badge there.
Oh, this is my friend's shirt.
We have Sean Crawford on the podcast stage. Sir, thank you so much for stopping by with us. We can talk a little Star Wars if you don't mind.
That's all right. Can I just get out of this robe and put some slippers on?
Sure. Little pipe.
Yeah. Where? Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk. Whatever.
So, how you doing with the con this this weekend?
It is the best. It's a record one for me, I must admit. Yeah, it's. I came to Mike's, 2019?
Yes.
In a big rodeo place.
Yeah, down in Williamson County.
And I loved that. And obviously made quite a lot of friends because they're all back this year. And it's just, big friends meetup, big meetup. It's great. I love it. Love it. Woo.
Well, let me ask you a question. For your character, Yak Face, did you ever imagine that your character being such a sedimentary character, like a background character, becomes so big and then grow within the Star Wars universe from first appearing all the way to now? Because there was a few years ago where your toy,
yes,
Ooh, do we call them toys or figures?
Figures, toys.
Figures,
No,
toys.
I call them toys.
Oh, for us,
dolly, isn't it? It's a dolly.
Yeah, for us, it's a toy and a figure is the same thing. Because I mean,
big
I
and
basically
butch.
put
Yeah, I mean,
figures.
if it depends on the collector. I collect toys.
Okay.
Some out there collect figures.
Mm-hmm.
So I say toy, but you're like the Yak Face toy. There was a surge in Yak Face sales. It was outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, when I bought the whole lot and put them in a big lockup and just kept them frozen, it sort of caused panic.
What do you like? Just send them all to me.
It's like stocks and shares. You sort of invest.
But how's it feel to have your character be such a big character?
How does it make me feel? Well, I didn't know the first thing about it, and I did the film in 82. We filmed it, and it came out 83. I was in Return of the Jedi, which is third, in the old trilogy,
Right.
And it came out 83, and the figure. I'm told all this facts. It came out 85 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was well and truly gone by then. It was five weeks filming. By the way, I was a Moncal as well.
Oh yes.
So old Jack Face. He came out as a figure. I had no idea. I was also, unlike most of the people here, that had it as Christmas presents. So I didn't collect figures, toys at that time. I was collecting girlfriends and out there doing whatever. But
how did you get approached for the role?
At the time, I was a performer, and I did a show. I studied mime, and I was working with there was originally a group with 3 guys, 3 girls, and it was half dance, half mime. I was a mime artist at the time, and we had a sort of like theatre burlesque show, which was sort of just mayhem. We could have a snake on there, a Muscle Mary. You didn't know what was going to happen, but it was very live. Lots of funky music at that time.
Mm-hmm.
We were sort of quite sort of out there, edgy, I think you would say. And we looked weird. We were, I suppose you ought to just look up Tick and Tock, TIKTOK, and Tock, not TikTok.
Tick and Talk.
Yeah, this is 1982 or something. We were celebrities in our own right. We were, we did shows from.
Is this in London?
This is generally in England. We were on commercials. We were doing, and we performed for the Queen, Her Majesty or whatever. We were celebrities.
Okay.
And Star Wars, the production team were looking for mime artists and puppeteers. In other words, people actually who were doing it, actually professionals in the sense of this is what their living was. So we were known as mimes, and so we were contacted and we were asked to join in a big casting where they had acts from all over the UK to show their worth or whatever. And
kind of like a casting call.
yeah, it was a proper casting. They booked a hall out and all that business. Robert Watt, who was co-producing, he was there. He knew us, so we had like a fast track. Nice. But we didn't know what for. We had no idea. I mean, we didn't know Robert. You know, he had seen us. He was a punter, and so we. Next thing we knew, we had the call. I think it was about 4 weeks or something between the casting and the first filming, which was filmed in January '82.
Mm-hmm. Pine Studios.
Pinewood Studios. Thank you. I need. Oops, sorry. Where were we?
So yeah, I'll ask this. Did you ever imagine? I know at that point, during the third movie, that Star Wars was pretty successful. Did you ever imagine that you would be in demand at cons to sign yak-based memorabilia?
No, that's a weird one. That is such a weird one because, as I said, we did the show. We moved on, and we've been to Japan. We were doing shows all over we were in demand. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just 5 weeks of our life, like 4 weeks doing the sail barge and Palace, Jabba's Palace, and weeks doing call back to do a week on as a Mon Cal. So, but that was our involvement, and we moved on and we did some really cheap English movies or whatever,
right?
Which were completely the reverse, a really cheap budget and like on the rubbish list, the worst of, and which is an experience. Then where was that? What was the question?
Did you ever imagine being in demand at cons?
No, that's right. Thank you. But I'd moved on out of performing. I had a girlfriend who was a famous sort of fashion designer, and I went into fashion with her. And she was successful, got in Vogue, and we had outlets, and she was quite a cutting edge designer. We should do clothes for performers like Tina Turner. This is back in the 80s again.
Right.
Tina Turner was big, and with Tim, I should say, we also did music, and for instance, we used to know Prince. We were working with Duran Duran, a guy called Gary Newman. We were quite out there, edgy sort of
deep
guys.
in the music world.
Yeah, I mean, we were basically.
Okay, that's.
So we did a bit of. I got out of that whole thing. In fact, there was a point where. Sorry, am I boring everyone?
No. Actually, I'm fascinated right now.
I don't normally sort of talk about myself, but what happened? Anyway, so I'd done lots and lots of different careers.
So you've been a mime to a puppeteer to being in music videos, working with
music. We actually, because we were a performer.
Right.
We were the ideal thing. We had a visual performance, and so we were a great support act. Bring on a great support. We didn't interfere. We just entertained.
Yeah, it just sounds like an amazing life. Like, hey, we're gonna dabble in this right here, being a mime. They
didn't know how to typecast us. And
definitely not.
We did shows in the bigger arenas, and like Freddie Mercury was in my dressing room, and stuff like that. And Brian May would go to EMI, who their record company, and said, "You've got to sign these guys. They're really nice." And they had, and also their other biggest act was Duran Duran. They said, who big friends of ours, and because I would say we were like new romantics, which was a big English. I think you call it new wave or something like that.
I'm a huge Duran Duran.
Yeah, he loves Duran.
Oh right, okay, cool.
Hungry like the wolves, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we were close, like Nick's wedding and all that sort of business. Close, because we were all of that scene. Ruffle shirts and stuff like that. And my girlfriend, talking before the the designer. You know, she did all their stuff. You know, she had a really, I mean, we were all part of the scene. I've got some good pictures at my booth, but anyway.
Oh, well,
all right.
I would love to see those.
It costs you, mate. No,
there's always a catch.
yeah, no.
Sean, thank you so much for coming on our podcast and giving us a little bit of your time for the con.
Yeah.
Go by his booth. He's got pictures that are a little for some cheddar cheese. And get your yak face signed.
Yeah.
That's it's booming
Yak
out there.
face. Have you got a yak face?
I don't have one. I would need to find one.
Yeah.
They have some out there, but
Don't mind.
they're vintage, and I don't dabble in the vintage.
Cheap number.
That's a road I'm trying not to go down.
No.
But Sean, thank you so much for coming on the
all right.
podcast, and
Cool.
come down and see him at ICCC. There's still a little bit more time left for Sunday. I think till 6, so there's about 3 hours left. So come down and get an autograph. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to get an autograph from Sean. Sean, thank you so much.
No, that's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Whole thing's a pleasure.
Have a good one.
Bye now.
This summer, saddle up in Smashville as the Music City hosts the hottest party of the summer, WWE SummerSlam Nashville. For the first time ever at Nissan Stadium, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, a whole lot of kick-ass. WWE SummerSlam, Saturday, July 30th. Tickets on sale now.